man. 7 days in Alaska, man. We haven't done a reaction to 7 days in Alaska for a minute, man. And this just dropped. Warzone just dropped, man. So we are doing it, and as you know, man, they usually set me off on a fucking rant all the time. So let's try and keep it together this time. You know what I mean? 7 days in Alaska, Warzone. This is Grade the Form though. That is our new format. So we are grading it on 3 things. We are grading it on sound, we are grading it on content, and we are grading it on obviously vocal ability of the artist, right? 3 important things, at least for me. And then we're giving it a score out of 10, and then a score out of 30, and then we give it a star rating. As you know, that's how it goes. So, hey man, let's rock and roll, man. Let's see what you got. Let's see what we've got over here. Let's go.
Grade the Form.
Did you really think you could bury me? Are you prepared for what you're gonna see? The monster is real, you should know. No going back now. You dug your own grave on your own. I'll bring you down from your throne. The hunter becomes the prey. No, you can't.
Okay, wait, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing. It's basically saying, okay, well, we're going to take you down from your throne. The hunters become the prey, right? The prey, all of us, right? Sitting on the grassroots level, right? And having been taken advantage by by the systems, by the political system, by the corporates, by the greed, by all that kind of thing. We're taking our fucking lives back. We're now hunting you. I kind of see that's where he's going. I know, and I know you're gonna. This is gonna fucking get me on it. It's gonna. I'm just.
The hunter becomes the prey. No, you cannot run away. You should count your hours now. At the break of dawn you vow. This is a war zone. This is a war zone.
Very high frequency, very powerful, man. Very high frequency, very powerful, right? It's people sort of like we now waging the war. You've been waging wars and using our children, our people to fight those fucking wars, right? And then on top of that, you give us the illusion of freedom, right? We're taking that shit back. We're taking that shit back, right? Okay, we're sick and tired of Cayman Island billionaires like all these politicians, essentially. And the craziest thing was sitting there, and you think to yourself, like, you know, like, why not close the loophole? So all these politicians sit on stage and say, oh no, you know what I mean? The money's being extracted from America because billionaires are taking, especially like Bernie Sanders, billionaires are taking their money. And the wealthy 1% is putting their money in the Cayman Islands. Okay, well then as a politician, then close that fucking loophole. Close the loophole that they can't do that. But you know why politicians don't close that loophole? Because that's where they put their fucking money. They put their money in the Cayman Islands. So of course, everyone's getting extracted. So it's sitting there saying also, oh no, this is what the corporates are doing. Close the loophole. But they won't, because if they close the loophole for the corporates or for the billionaires, they close the loopholes for themselves because they need that loophole. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Okay.
The times are changing, and your walls won't hold. You should know, you should know. You're calling in favors, but they're all used up. All your bridges burning. You better pray for luck. No.
This reminds me of a saying that Napoleon once had, man. Napoleon always said, if you lose the people's ears, make sure you got bread. You know what I mean? And it's the way the political systems work. You know what I mean? If you lose the people's ears, make sure you've got bread. Because you can talk all you want. People will listen and listen and listen, and nothing changes, and nothing changes, and nothing changes, and nothing changes. It comes to a certain point where they actually snap. You know what I mean? But when they snap, there is a fail-safe to that, because there is a fail-safe where you say, okay, well then, toss them the bread, right? Because as humanity, if we can put bread on our tables, we'll forgive a lot, especially if you're desperate, right? Desperate people will take whatever they can get because they can survive another day, right? And politicians know this. Politicians know this. And the thing is that they sit there and they say, okay, well, we've lost their ears now, right? So let's toss them bread, right? Because desperate people, give them something to shut them up. But when you've lost both of those options, when they don't care for the bread anymore, they're hungry for something else now, right? And they're no longer listening to you. That's when the politicians start to shake in their boots. That's when the politicians start to get worried, because the people have had enough. That plank, if you look at it as a walking plank on a ship, like a pirate ship, the walking plank, the people are standing on the other end of that plank, man, and the politician is standing above the ocean with the sharks, right? The power is in your hands. You can walk off that plank and let the politician fucking go. You know what I mean? That's the way democracy works, and people don't understand that. People don't understand how democracy works. So a lot of people, what actually happens, and I saw it on the Instagram post that last time saying, and I've heard a couple of artists say, I don't vote. You know what I mean? Because the voting system's not for me, the voting system doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. If you do not understand, how can you want democracy if you don't understand how democracy works? Democracy is vote the fucker that's doing nothing out. That's how democracy works, right? And if you want to say, well, that doesn't work, I'm not going to vote anymore, you can't really complain, because you're not actually having a say in your system, not having a say. So yes, democracy isn't the perfect system, but it's the best system we have. Short of that, it's communism. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Coming to save you, save you.
Oh, and by the way, fuck you, Mark, actually, for this, because you do this all the time. No disrespect, but fuck you, man. This is fucking crazy.
Running, keep running. Can you hear the silence? The hunter becomes the prey.
Putin, I see. Okay, the hunter becomes the prey. Is this the guy we're gonna hunt? Ooh, he's gonna take. It's gonna be. We're gonna struggle. We're gonna struggle to take this guy down. Trust me.
No, you cannot run away. You should count your hours now. Let the break of dawn you bow. This is a Warzone.
I love this part. I love this part. I must be honest. We've forgotten about people like that. We've forgotten about people like Gandhi. You know what I mean? That actually used to stand for something. We don't stand for much today anymore. We're living in a world of flip-floppers at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Coasters and flip-floppers. You know what I mean? If I show you a fence, man, you're either on the fence, or if you're on the left or right of it, you're not there for too long, because we jump around, man. We don't pick a side of the fence anymore. That actually, we just flip-flop. We flip-flop. You know what I mean? We don't stand for any beliefs, we don't stand for each other, we don't stand for nothing. It's an opportunistic world, right? And you know what the sad part is? People that just consistently coast on that fence, coast on that fence, coast on that fence. You're not living life, man. I don't care what it is. I don't care what side you pick. Land on a side and take the consequences. But you know what happens? People don't want to take a side. So they stay on that fence and stand for fucking nothing, right? And even if you pick the wrong side, it doesn't matter. You learn something. You know what I mean? It's okay to be held accountable for something. You're human, right? We make mistakes. It's okay to land on the wrong side of the fence. You learn something, and then afterwards, you could land on the right side of the fence. But we don't do that anymore. We coast today. We don't stand for nothing anymore. We don't have great people like this anymore, right? That will starve themselves to death in order to, for the greater good. We don't do nothing for the greater good of people anymore. Society's falling apart, and you can see it. Come on. That's from our neck of the woods, people. Nelson Mandela. Legend. Absolute legend. You guys obviously know Nelson Mandela, man. He was a hero over here. Hero in South Africa, man. He really stood for a lot. Yet again, I told you, not many people stood. We don't have people like this anymore. We've lost those politicians. The real ones. We've lost those ones. You know what I mean? We've got the thieves and the looters now in all governments. Not just South Africa, in all governments. Come on, man. Around the world. Again. The Dalai Lama. Absolutely unbelievable human being. You know what I mean? A force of power in himself, essentially. We've lost. China wants to get rid of that. China wants to get rid of the Tibetan people, the most beautiful, spiritual people on planet Earth, right? Not getting anybody's way, right? Don't judge anybody they're just inner peace people. China wants to get rid of them. Why? Because you can't have a different belief system that goes against ours. We've got to wipe those people out. That's humanity. Let's go. I love the footage you're using here, man. The footage is insane, man. This is all iconic footage, eh? All of this is iconic footage.
Becomes a prey. Oh no, you cannot run away. You should count your hours now. At the break of dawn, you bow. This is a war song.
Martin Luther King, another legend.
So crazy right now. I go for you. Lots of rap.
Yeah. What can I say? The most powerful military in the world is not going to save you when you are rotting from within. Rome was a super powerful fucking empire. Super powerful. Rome, no one could actually take down Rome. No one from the outside, no sort of country or empire from the outside, from the exterior of the Roman Empire could ever take Rome down. They were too powerful. You know what I mean? No one could invade the Roman Empire. They were way too powerful. Do you know how the Roman Empire fell? How it collapsed? The rot was from inside. The corruption was from inside. The Roman Empire collapsed because it rotted from within. And that stands true for any empire. That stands true for today, at the end of the day. Right? And that's why I say, for a country that is absolutely amazing, a country that's absolutely beautiful, I love America. I wish I could live in America. Right? And the American people with their resolve and their resourcefulness, they're just amazing people. But empires fall when they start rotting from within, right? And I kind of feel that started in the States, unfortunately. It's rotting from within. It's rotting from within. And it's happening not just in America, it's happening in many other governments around the world. It's rotting from within, right? You're willingly giving up. You're giving up your place as the number one superpower in the world. From within. No one's even invading you. No one's doing that. China and Russia are just sitting back and saying, well, we'll just watch this. We'll just watch this happen. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on, man. Every country in the world is important. Every country in the world is beautiful. Right? And if another country is going to take over that number one spot, it's not because they dethroned America. It's because America dethroned themselves. Love you all, man. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Peace.